She kept praising the girl, showing her heart flutter, and the girl was beaming. Perhaps she had never heard so many sweet words before. Her heart did feel a little flutter, but she tried to play it cool and decided to test Noah once more. That evening, with her friend planning the showdown, two met again. Noah politely said hello, still showering her with flattering words, and their friend suggested catching a movie. This time Annie didn't say no. In the cinema, couples were unabashedly showing their affection, and in this flirty atmosphere, it brought Noah and Annie much closer. After the film, instead of heading home, the girl strolled with Noah down the empty streets. She shared about her life, revealing that being a rich girl didn't equal happiness. She couldn't enjoy the freedom like regular folks, learning boring stuff every day. Her life had been meticulously laid out by her parents. When Noah asked her what she wanted most, she was stumped. Noah thought Annie's life lacked a lot of fun, so she had a bold idea. She took Annie across the street and plopped down in the middle of it. She gestured for Annie to join, but Annie squealed it was dangerous and scooted off to safety. This wasn't your regular playground. You do realize you can't do that? After a pause, Annie rolled her eyes and followed Noah's lead, lying down too. What just happened? You died? Oh. Noah exclaimed while asking Annie about her favorite activity, and she said it was painting. Whenever I feel down, picking up a paintbrush makes the world quiet. Just as she finished speaking, a car zoomed by, sending them running for dear life, and Annie was laughing like a kid experiencing a wild thrill. Having long suppressed herself, she felt unparalleled madness. Seeing Annie so happy, Noah suggested dancing together. Annie leaned on Noah's shoulders, and the air was thick with tension, love swirling as they danced even in the middle of the road. Even without a romantic soundtrack, they danced with all the classic charm, their feelings heating up swiftly, resulting in a no-surprise love. Henceforth, the town had a new happy couple, inseparable and thick as thieves every day. Together they savored sweet cream splashed in the ocean waves, and watched the town's performances, all thanks to Noah's lead. As Annie tried many fun things she had never thought of before, even if they sometimes squabbled over little stuff, but they had one thing in common: they were madly in love with each other. Until one night, Annie came home and was caught red-handed by her father. At the next day's party, Annie's family was all about the high society, while Noah, dressed in black, looked out of place as the class gap became crystal clear. At that moment, Annie's cousin asked about her job income. Noah was transparent, admitting he worked at a lumber mill for 40 cents an hour. He added that he was content with his life, but as soon as he said that, everyone fell silent. It was like a cloud in the midst of sunshine. And Annie's mom threw out a reality check, saying she was sending Annie to New York for studies after summer vacation, and with Noah's savings, he could barely afford a weekend. That was her subtle hint at their gap. Just as Anna's mom was about to turn the knife deeper on Noah. Thank goodness her dad jumped in, saying a young man's ambition isn't defined by a pocket full of coins, and hard work will surely pay off. That night, Noah brought Annie to a secret hideout. It was an old house, with picturesque views in the back. He planned to buy it one day and renovate it into Annie's dream place. The exterior was a lovely white with blue shutters, and outside was a gently flowing stream. He'd leave her a vast studio to paint amid scenery daily. Hearing Noah's promises, Annie's face showed yearning. Under the soft moonlight, their hearts grew warmer. They bashfully withdrew behind a cozy hill, marking their growth in life. By 3 in the morning, Noah's buddy burst in, saying Annie hadn't come home yet, and her mom had already called in the whole town's police to find her. Annie realized how serious things were and urgently asked Noah to take her back. Upon arrival, her parents summoned her for a private chat. Leaving Noah pacing anxiously in the living room, her mother began a tirade, calling Noah lowborn and a nobody that didn't belong in their family. She spewed harsh words that left no dignity for Noah, insisting Annie couldn't keep seeing him. Noah, pondering in the living room, realized maybe leaving was the best way to love Annie. Hearing the door slam, Annie immediately dashed out, pleading with Noah not to go. But Noah was engulfed in pain as she assumed Noah was giving up on their love. Anger flared within her. Do it. Come on. Stop. You know I will. Well, okay, this is it. Don't touch me. But this fight wasn't like the others. Noah silently prepared to leave, which left Annie feeling frantic. No. Wait. We're not actually fighting. Simon, this is just a spat. Tomorrow, it'll be like none of this happened. But all she got in return was endless silence. The next morning, Annie woke to see the butler packing bags. Apparently, her parents were planning an early exit. She hurried to her mother, begging for a few more days, but her mom's icy words made her realize there was no chance. Before leaving, she decided to say goodbye to Noah, but when she rushed to the lumber mill, her friend broke the news that Noah wasn't around. She begged her friend to tell Noah she loved him and to write to her. Ultimately, she left carrying a heart full of regrets. Back at the lumber mill, Noah got wind that Annie had been there and rushed to her house, only to find it desolate and empty. In the days that followed, Noah wrote Annie a letter every single day. In those letters, he poured out his feelings of love and longing, along with plans for their future together. But Annie's mom secretly intercepted those letters, determined to cut off any connection between her daughter and that poor boy. After Noah wrote 365 unanswered letters, he chose to move on and start anew. During those turbulent times, with war in America, Noah resolutely enlisted.